Hello, today I'm going to help you to build a attribute page for FreeCodeCamp. So it will look like this page. This is the original FreeCodeCamp attribute page, and we are going to build a similar page. I already opened new screen here with the two different browser. One of them, it will guide us to build a similar attribute page, and here's the structure that we should follow. So already FreeCodeCamp is give us list of user stories. We have to go through all of them, around 8 different user stories. So let's fork the code bin as they saying here. Let's just right click and open new tab. Here we open the code bin where we are going to write our code. I already listed all the user stories that we have to do, and I will start right and typing down the code. So I'll drag here this area of JavaScript. We're not going to use it, and also will drag the area of CSS. We're not going to use it for now, at least, and just to have more space where we can write the HTML tag or codes. So let's start here. First, we'll start by adding the main div element, and then we'll add ID. It's called main, as that's the first user story, and then inside we'll add h1 as a heading and close the h1, and I will give it an ID called title, as is the second user story, and the value we are going to use the same attribute page title. And next one, yes, I'm going to use a paragraph. And I'm going to just copy this paragraph to match the page. And then after, I'm going to create another div with an ID called image div, as is the third user story. And I'm going to close it. And inside, I'm going to add an image tag or an image element, HTML image element, with an ID called image, as is the fourth user story. And I will give it alt with just the same title to describe the image, alt attribute, and I'm going to give it a source, and I will close the image element or image tag element. To get the image source, I'm going to use this image source. Just I will try to open the inspector and just select the image. It will highlight to us the image source here. So double click and click and copy the image source. Come back to here using the image source. Then down after the image element, we're going to add another element, which is a fig capture for the image. Fig caption. And just close the element. And inside here, we are going to copy this caption of the image and just paste it here. So this is for the container of the image. And outside this div, we are going to create another div with an ID. It's called attribute info. This is a 6 user story, and I'm going close to div, and inside here I'm going to add h3 and close the h3. This will represent this title here, or the info title, and copy that one and add it to here. And down, just let's add an order list URL and closing that. And inside we are going to add a list item li and close the list item. And this list item, each list item would represent this line of description basically for the doctor. So we'll take the first one, an example. So basically we'll start like the first one, list item, and then because we need this to be like bold, then we are going to use HTML strong element, closing it, strong, to making the text look bold. I'm going to copy this one here, and inside of the strong element going to paste it, and outside the strong element I'm going to copy this text and add it there. And I need to keep a space after the strong element to just leave the same space as here. If I scroll down, and now I can see on the bottom of the screen, if you see that, it's already using a bold for the ear and also the same text. So I'm going basically to do the same step for the rest until 2009, and because already have that, just to keep the time already is created, I'm going just copy it and paste it. So this for the rest of the ears. And after adding all this, this will be similar, basically same steps. And outside of the order list, I'm going to add HTML italic element, which is just I, and closing the italic element, and I'm going to copy this here italic content and because the italic element is inline style element, so I'm going to use a break to keep space between the second element. I will add 2 break to give more space, and new line, just add another HTML italic element, and inside just copy this text here and put it inside. And outside of this div, just before the last div, let's add new line. The new line, we are going to add this last footer here, this text. We are going to use h5 because it's as a footer and small text. Add h5 and close the h5 element. And inside we are going to copy this text and just let's add enter here in between. We copy the text, and we are going to add anchor element for this URL. So let's add a, and then it will have a target or ID first. As is the last user story, it will be the ID, it will be attribute link. Attribute link, and also we'll give it a target will be underscore plan, and all this the anchor tag element, and we'll copy this text and put it in between, and outside the anchor tag element let's add dot, just as this last dot here. And because this anchor tag should has href element also, let's add href attribute. Well, let's open this new link to just copy the href. If you press, then it will open a new tab. You can copy the href from the top URL and then copy and paste it here where we added our attribute. Now we added our href attribute. So now we have all our content and we have everything, so we should now styling it to be look similar to this one. Now I will move to CSS instead of the HTML. We'll start by selecting the first element on the styling, for the styling on the page, which is the main ID, and I will apply max width. This is just standard, or you can use any like width. Basically I'm going to just use 1280 for this one. And also I'm going to add max height as 100%, and also I'm going to add a margin. It will give margin top and down 30 pixel, and left right auto to just bring the content on the middle of the screen. And also we'll give it a padding around 15 pixel to give more padding to the content. And also we'll give it a background color. I will give it background color gray. It will be something like D6 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yep, as you see the background color is changed now down here. And also I will give it a border radius. Yes. If you try to focus on this corner, should be changed. I will give it 5 pixel. You see now the border radius is being applied. And if I move to next element, which will be title, and I will give title just text line center to center the title to the screen, so that will center the title. Next one I will give also this paragraph here, text line to center, and this will be then main. So after main, the first paragraph element apply to it, text align center, so that is moving to element the center. And the next one will be the image div or image div ID, and we'll give it max width. This will be the container of this image, so I'm going to give it 600 pixels, and margin top down 0, right left auto to bring the content into the middle. And also I'm going to give it a padding around 15 pixel, and also give it a background color white background color. So it should be just hash 6 times if. And if you notice, now we should just review this one. Max width 600 pixel, margin auto, padding, and yes. And I will add to the image the next element. I'll add another styling. So select by the IDs called image and give it display. To make the image responsive, we should make it display as a block because the default one will be inline. And also we'll give it max width as 100%, which will take the parent width. And also we'll give it a padding button, just to give the padding between the caption and the image. Will be around 10 pixel. If you see now, it's adding padding down bottom. Let's see why the color is not being applied. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Image div. Okay, I will review that again. Let's continue. If we try to take a quick look, see is there any difference. Our image is centered, and let's just double check and see why image div is not applying. Let's go to HTML, have image div ID. Sorry, here I changed, this should be I instead of E. That's why I wasn't applying, but now should be C. Now the background, the image being changed, and it's centered into the center of the page. Okay, so we can continue now. After image style, we'll add another element ID. It will be attribute info. And I'll give it max width as a 600 pixel. I'm going to change because the info has less width than the image container. Basically, I'm going to change the image container to 800, and I will keep this 600. And also I will center the content. We'll give it margin, to margin top down 0, left right auto, just to center if you see centering the content on the middle of the screen. And now I can go to next element, which is a H3 element, or the title, this title here. I'm going also to center it onto the screen, or to center onto this area. So that will be, just to select that element, it will be an ID called, we'll use the same this ID, and then just access the first H3 inside this content. It will mean accessing the first H3 element and applying this style, which will be text line center. If you see that centering the text, and if you go to next one, will be the order list. The order list, if you see, is like now is not readable, so we need to add more, add margin and line height for it to make it more readable. So basically it will be attribute info ID, then first order list and then list. This will apply for all lists basically inside an order list, and then we'll give it margin button 10 pixel, line height 30 pixel. If you see this now is more readable and you can understand what's there, so it look much better. And now we can move to next element, which is the last one, H4. You can select that directly. Basically we have only one H4 on the page, and we'll give it text align center basically. And if you save that now, let's open our page, if you see now we have similar page. The only difference just the font family, but everything same. Sorry, the footer is not centered. Let's see why that's not being centered. It is H4 or H5. Sorry, it's H5. Yeah, now that's centered and everything look well. If we try to check the test, should the test pass? If you press run test, now we have 9 out of 10. Let's see what's wrong and what is not passing. With the image div element should see fig caption. Okay, we should use this element instead. The test is guiding us that we're missing the right HTML element inside for the image caption. It should be this one. It's saved. Let's try run it again. And that still is not bouncing basically. Caption or div element with. Oh, we have to add this ID. We didn't add this ID to this image caption. So add that ID, save it, and then run the test again. Ooh, now we have test like 10 out of 10. That's the page, and if you need to view it in full screen, yes, you can press a full page view. And now we have similar original FreeCodeCamp attribute page. And I hope that was simple and easy and useful. I will leave this page URL or the code URL if, for example, if you'd like to go back and to see the code, the original code, and maybe that will help you. So basically we'll leave this URL down of the video. Press the subscribe button and enable the bell to get the latest change. Besides, if you like this video, press like button. That will support me to continue and uploading more videos. Also, do not forget to leave your comment about this video, or if you have any idea that needs me to do a video for. Thanks for watching.